What up, everybody? This is your boy Black Magus, and so I've been playing around with AI, as you can see from my last two videos, the backgrounds, and I think one of the thumbnails I use an AI generated image to produce the background art, so I can put my vocals over and whatnot. Um, and I found it quite interesting playing around with it because I've never been super into that whole thing. I've always, it's funny when people start going crazy over stuff and it trends. I tend to always come after the hype to check it out because when people initially start seeing things and decide to make it a big deal, I feel like a lot of it is just how can I say this? It's just it's just temporary. It's not like they're actually taking time to look, study it, and digest it. And I've always been like that. I like to sit back and try to digest things and figure it out and just see how people react to it, and then use it myself or read about it and then form my own opinion. So finally, I started messing around with it. I'm using Google's Gemini, which I believe is fairly new. It's funny because even the software itself, and I say software because I'm used to saying software, but you do it through the browser. Um, but it's pretty young, and it even says to you like, "Hey, I'm pretty young. I'm like just learning how to do a lot of things. So there's going to be a lot of trial and error," and that is so true. Quick review: it seems to work fine, but the trial and error part is very, very true. It took me several times to get that thumbnail with the words on it to come up with the words spelled correctly and not look like Russian um, lettering, which is weirds me out too. How it seems to like convert to that, you know, a Russian type style of character set. Weird, very, very weird. For all you conspiracy theorists out there, go crazy with that. But otherwise, it seems cool. Like, you have to pay, of course, to get realistic or human type images. So, hence why you see me use the animals in a lot of these things. But I think it's cool. It's a useful tool, but it makes me think where we're going in the future with all of this stuff with AI. How it's able to translate these images, how it's able to translate text, correct it for you, and whatnot. Although, again, I find it funny that something that tends to struggle with spelling things is able to, correct a person. But then it's just Gemini, probably. I've never used Chat GPT. I've heard about it. It's probably the oldest or the most used platform as far as AI is concerned. I'm curious how it is. If anybody's used it, let me know. But just the way that you are now able to generate music. I've seen a lot of stuff and some creative, clever things where people will put in words and say, sing this to the tune of, or sing this to the melody of, or sing this in the style of. And it doesn't. And it comes out with some interesting songs, which some of them is very, very entertaining. Um, but with that being said, how far are we going to dive into this? There's already companies trying to get, you know, actors to sign waivers to allow them to use their vocal tones, the sound of their voice, so they could plug in dialogue. People are already being asked to sign image licenses so that studios can license their image and plug it in and use it and replace them as actors. We saw Disney do it to a lesser degree with a couple of the Star Wars movies where people who had been deceased, they had digital representations of them. And it's funny because I believe they signed to deal with James Earl Jones before he died to actually be able to use his voice from here on out. So if you see Darth Vader in any Star Wars property, you're probably going to hear James Earl Jones' voice, and it'll be interesting to see how that goes, how natural it sounds and everything. I believe they did kind of enhance his voice during the recordings he did for the Obi-Wan show, but now it's just going to be all computerized. It's AI James Earl Jones. How is that going to work? Like I said, it could be a useful tool, but as we start to use it more extensively and try to plug it in to replace a lot of things, what's going to happen to industries? What's going to happen to jobs? What's going to happen to, you know, the quality of things? Because they're already trying to find ways of using AI in game development, things like that. What would the quality standard be, and how, necessary will human beings be? And I should mute my phone when I record. Rookie mistake, guys. I haven't been doing this that much lately, so I forget the basics of this thing. Anyway, but yeah, what's going to happen when we get to that point where this is used to an extensive basis? Where are we going to go? Where are people going to go for certain jobs? What is, the financial ramifications? How is this going to affect the economy? Because people start to lose jobs. People can't buy things. Things go awry. It's the human cost that is going to probably be the biggest thing to worry about. But, how much should we let this stuff take over? I'm not saying we're going to turn up into the Terminator or anything like that, but, hell, we're really getting into an era now where human beings are being replaced for a lot of things, or are potentially looking to be replaced for a lot of things. And it's going to be interesting to see how society deals with that. But you guys, please let me know what you think. So as always, hit me up. I'll holler at you later. This your boy Black Magus, and I'm out. Deuces.